Hey guys, the Flutter Trainer here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck list. This time around we have a deck that started off pretty fun, but became a pretty competitive deck for me. It's my Duston Burn deck, as you saw in the title. Now, a Burn deck is essentially do as much damage to your opponent in a little time as possible, and the Duston part of the deck is to make it so you can get as many cards on the field, on your opponent's side of the field, and to, like, lock down their field from doing anything. So, since this is Dustin's, I will start with the Dustin cards. First off, we have triple red Dustin. Now I should explain that the first few parts of Dustin's I'm going to show you cannot be tributed. They cannot be used for synchro materials, they cannot be used for fusion materials, and they can't be used for XYZ materials. So these sort of just stay on your field until your opponent destroys them. 3 out of the 4 Dustins that can do that can't be tributed, synchroed, XYZ, or fusioned have negative effects, or one has a pretty positive effect for the controller. So this card is, if it's destroyed on your side of the field, or if it's face up on the field, it cannot be tributed, whatever. Once on the field and is destroyed, the controller, whoever had this, sorry, they take 500, and you can only control one of these at a time. You're probably wondering why the heck you would run that if you want to stay alive. I will explain everything later. Green Dustin, just like red Dustin, cannot be used for fusion, synchro, XYZ, or cannot be tributed while face up on the field. When it's destroyed, the controller targets one spell trap card that they control, and it's returned to the hand. You can only control one face up with Green Dustin. And the last one that does negative effects to you is Blue Dustin. Same deal as red and green, cannot be used for fusion, synchro, XYZ, and cannot be tributed. Once on the field, you must bench one random card from the controller's hand, face down, and until the standby phase the next turn. So you can only control one of those. So as you saw, those are pretty negative effects to the controllers. This one has sort of the same effect where it can't be tributed and all that, but this is yellow Dustin, cannot be tributed, fusion, synchro material, XYZ material. But this is the positive effect. If it's destroyed, the controller on your side of the field, the controller can shuffle one monster. Shuffle one monster from the graveyard into the deck. So it's nice getting back your Dustins and wreaking more havoc on your opponent. Here are the ones that can be used for all that synchro, tribute, fusion, and stuff. But these are going to mainly be played on your side unless you really can't play them on your side. This one better be played on your side. This is the White House Dustin. Basically, if this card face up is destroyed, you can special summon Dustins to either side of the field, but they cannot. But each side must have an equal amount of Dustins. So you play a green Dustin, a blue Dustin, and a red Dustin to your opponent's side. You can special summon yellow, another house Dustin, white Dustin, all that jazz. This is like the staple of the deck. This is how you lock down your opponent, because they can't tribute, synchro, or anything, so if you just get a bunch of Dustins and decide just to leave them there, they really can't do anything. I mean, they can try to destroy them, but it's just going to have negative effects on them. And then next we have 2 Star Dustin. This came from the new Primal Origin set. Basically, you can tribute as many Dustins on your side of the field as you can, or as you want, actually. And the special summon this card from your hand. For each Dustin tributed, it gains 1,000. Your opponent cannot activate spells and traps, which is awesome. The only downside is that if you control more monsters than your opponent, this card is destroyed. But it's nice to get out there and just destroy stuff. And for the final Dustin, we have White Dustin. It's just a normal monster, level 1 normal monster, can't be used for XYZ and all that. The extra deck for this deck is small, but whatever. So those are the Dustins. For just monsters in the deck, there's only 6 of them. And actually there's only 3 different kinds and they're copies. We have a Stygian, we play 2 Stygian Street Patrol. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the level of the destroyed monster on the field times 100. You can banish this card from the graveyard and special summon 1 Fiend-type monster with 2,000 attack or less from your hand. So this is in your graveyard, and House Dustin's in your hand. Banish this from your graveyard and special summon that House Dustin. Goes great. Next we have the Stygian Security. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 1 fiend monster from your deck. So special summon that. All Dustins are fiends. You can use it to get out the next card I'm about to show you. We play triple Goblin King. Goblin King gains 1,000 attack for each fiend on the field. So yours and your opponent's, and all Dustins are fiends. This is where like sort of the OTK aspect comes. If you House Dustin, get 4 on each side of the field, and then Goblin King, if you had special summon on face-up attack position, that's 8,000 right there. Just destroy. 1 Dustin, that's game. Yeah, that's really it. And then your opponent cannot attack any other fiends on the field except this one. So if there's like another Dustin on your side of the field, it can only attack this card. So that's it for monsters. For the burn aspect, for spells, we have Thunder Short. Inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each monster they control. That's it for the spell burn portion of it. Next we have some searchers. We have Where Art Thou? If you control a face-up level 1 monster, add 1 level 1 monster from your deck to your hand, and during the end phase of this turn, take 2,000 if you did not normal summon an added monster, or a card with the same name. So, you have a House Dustin, show on the field, your opponent's too scared to attack. Where Art Thou? Get a White Dustin or something on the field to your hand and normal summon it. It's nice. Another searcher we have is the 1-for-1 spell card. Send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard and special summon 1 level 1 monster from your hand or deck. Send that Stygian Street Patrol to the graveyard and you can banish it to get more level 1s on the field. And finally, for the spells, we have 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, pretty standard. With this, with how much traps and spells are in this format, it's just good to just destroy things to leave Goblin King wide open to attack and stuff. Finally for traps, we have the burn portion, and then we have Searcher and Destruction. This is sort of like common theme. So if you're playing a burn deck, or if you've ever played a burn deck, you will off the bat know Just Desserts is a staple in burn decks, and inflicts 500 points of damage to your opponent for each monster they control. So we're going to run 3 of those. The other staple you will see in a lot of burn decks is the Secret Barrel spell card. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the number of cards on your opponent's side of the field and in your hand. So monsters, spells, and traps, and then their field spells, and then their hand. So those cards are just there for like to wreak total havoc. And then 1 Ceasefire. Ceasefire is flip all face down defense position monsters face up defense position. Flip effects are not activated. Inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each effect monster on the field. Almost every Dustin has an effect, so if you flip all of them face up, if you just set all of them and you flip them all face up, your opponent's just going to take so much damage. We're running 1 Call the Haunted for searching from your graveyard, get the House Dustin back, and if your opponent decides to MST this Call of the Haunted, House Dustin's effect will go off because it was destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Next we play 2 Dust Tornado for destroying your opponent's back row, so you can have Goblin King again attack. And then finally for the main deck we have 2 Trap Stun. Trap Stun is so you can negate all other trap effects on the field during this turn. It's just good so your opponent can't Mirror Force a Goblin King attacking, or hell, anything attacking really. Alright. So with that said, we have now the extra deck, and this will be the end of the deck profile. The extra deck, like I said, is small. It's only 4 cards. We'll start off with Mira the Starbearer. 3 level 1 monsters. If this face-up card would be destroyed, you can attach 1 XYZ material from it instead. Level 4 or lower monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Again, if this is on the field along with your Goblin King, you're all set. Next up, we have a number 39 Utopia Roots. When any monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card and negate the attack. It's basically Utopia, but with an added effect. If you negate an XYZ material's attack, this card gains attack equal to that monster's rank. So this can easily surpass Utopia instantly if you negate something's attack that's higher than rank 4. If you negate a rank 4 monster's attack, then it gains 2,000, right up there with Utopia. It's just great. I love it. Next we have a Slacker Magician. Once per turn, cannot be destroyed by battle. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, detach 1 XYZ material, and that card's effect is negated, and you destroy that card. So Chaos Sorcerer decides, hey, I'm going to target this and try to banish it, just as an example. Oh, detach 1 and destroy that Chaos Sorcerer. Negate and destroy. It's awesome. And finally, we have a number 54 Lionheart. This is probably the... Whoops, I bumped the camera. Let me fix that real quick. This is probably the best rank 1 in the game, in my opinion. This face-up attack position card cannot be destroyed by battle. When you take battle damage from battles involving this card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of battle damage you took. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage activation, in either player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from that battle. So basically, you can do double damage to your opponent. At least that's how I think it works. Like, you got Slacker Magician here with 200 attack. Lionheart here is in face-up attack position. Attack the Slacker Magician. Instead of you taking battle damage, your opponent with the Slacker Magician takes it. They take 200, and if you detach, they'll take another 200 for it, I think. I'm pretty sure. If not, someone can correct me in the comments below. So that is it for Dustin's. The whole reason I made this deck was because of the White Dustin card that came out in Legacy of the Valiant. I love that set. That is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh set, is Legacy of the Valiant. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh set. So, there we go. There's your Dustin Burn deck. Have fun with it. It's a really good deck. It's won me a lot. Online and in tournaments. So, have fun using it. That is all for today. I will see you guys later. I have a graduation party to go to soon. So, hit that like button, subscribe. It's great to see, like, my growing audience. It's really great. I enjoy making videos for you. The whole new Castle Crasher series I'm doing. The deck profiles, I've got a few more in mind. I only do deck profiles if I actually have the cards. I don't like to do them offline. But it's just really fun, so I will see you guys later. Peace.